What's up, Mavericks? This is Erica Sepola, writer and editor over here at Merchant Maverick. And today I'm going to walk you through how to set up and use projects in QuickBooks Online. This feature lets you group invoices, expenses, and time entries under one job or client, so it's easier to track how profitable each project is. This is an especially useful tool if you're a freelancer, contractor, or service-based business with multiple clients or jobs. But before we get started, note that this feature is only available on the QuickBooks Online Plus and Advanced plans. If you have a lower tier plan, you will need to upgrade in order to access this feature. So with all of that being said, let's dive right in. So on the main QuickBooks dashboard, you're going to normally navigate over to this left menu, and usually you're going to see projects right here under time. Now, if you do not have this feature enabled and you're subscribed to the Plus or Advanced plan, you're going to have to toggle this feature on. So we're going to simply go up here to the top right corner, click on the settings, which is the gear icon, go over to the left under your company and click on account and settings. Once we've done that, we're going to go to the left of the screen, all the way to the bottom, and click on Advanced. You're going to scroll down just a little bit, and you're going to see Projects, and as you can see, this is turned off. We're going to click on this pencil icon right here. We're going to toggle this on, and we're going to save our changes. Once we've saved our changes, it's going to bring us back to the main account and settings screen, and we're just going to click Done. Now, if you look back over at the left menu, you'll see right under Time, we now have the Projects feature enabled. So to get started, we're going to click on that. Once we click on that, you'll see that QuickBooks gives you a few bullet points breaking down what the feature is. There's also a link to a video that just shows you how it works. If you want to know more about all of the functionalities that this has to offer, I would recommend watching this 4-minute video, but we're going to dive in and start a project by clicking the green button at the bottom of the screen. Now, once we've done that, we're going to be into the new project page. On the left side of the screen, you can see this beta feature that's the project management agent. This allows you to upload PDFs, JPEGs, PNGs of things like contracts, estimates, or proposals. So it'll immediately pull the project details out for you, which is great to eliminate that manual data entry. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to set this up manually, so we're just going to click on the little arrow, shut that down, and come into the first field, which is the project name. Now, you may have your own process of naming projects within your organization. If you don't, I just recommend being as descriptive as possible so you can differentiate between all of your clients and projects. So we're going to name this Amy's Bird Sanctuary Renovation. Now the next field is customer, and it is a drop-down menu. When you click on the arrow, you're going to see all of your customers that are saved within your QuickBooks Online account. You also have the option at the top of the drop-down to add a new client if you do not already have them saved into your account. But we're going to go with this first customer, Amy's Bird Sanctuary, and we're going to click on that. Once we've done that, you can see that the next field, email, already auto-populates with the information that we have saved for this customer. You do have the option to click within this box and edit this email if you need to. So moving to the next row, we have the start date of the project. Just click on the calendar icon, and a calendar will pop up, and you can go in and you can move forward and back, and you can select the date the project is going to start. We're going to say that it's going to start next Monday. So we're going to click on that, and it fills in the field with that date. The next field is the end date. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to click on that calendar icon. We're going to select the anticipated end date of the project. So we'll go 2 weeks out from our start date. The next field is status, which is set to in progress. If you click on the drop down, you see you can change it to not started, completed, or canceled. We'll say that this project has not yet been started. And then below that, there's a big notes field, so you can add notes about the client, the project itself, or any kind of internal notes that anyone working on the project would need to see. The next section is the address for this project. You do have the option on the right to toggle off the address. Otherwise, if you've already set this up within your customers, you're going to see that these fields for the address are already filled in. Of course, you can click within each of these boxes and edit the address if needed, if this information is no longer accurate. Below that, we have the shipping address. We do have this checked that the shipping address is the same as the billing address. Of course, you can uncheck that and go in and put a shipping address if it's different from what we have here. Finally, on this page, we have custom fields. So if you want to add things like a PO number, a sales agent name, or anything like that, you can go to the bottom right, click on Manage Custom Fields, and set that up. We're not going to set up any additional fields, so we're simply going to click on Save and Close. Now we're on the project's dashboard, and as you can see up here at the top, there is a little walkthrough. I would highly recommend just going through that just so you can get more comfortable with it, where everything's at. We're going to skip over that. And on your dashboard, you're going to see a lot of data here. We don't have anything in here yet for this project, so all of the numbers are 0. But as we add in invoices, estimates, receipts, and things like that, you'll be able to see the amount of open invoices, the amount of overdue invoices, estimates versus actual cost, and things like that. So if we were to want to add something like an invoice or an estimate to this project, we're going to go to the top right, click on this drop down, Add to Project. If we wanted to add an invoice, we'd simply click on Invoice. And this would bring us to our invoice screen where we would be able to fill this out, review, and send to the customer. The same thing applies to if you receive a payment, you can go in here and you can add in that information. Same with expense, estimates, everything like that. You can just simply click right there, add in the information, and save it and close, or save it and send it to the customer or wherever it needs to go. Now, up here at the top, you can see this is the overview. This just gives you an overview of all of the money, profit margins, things like that are coming in and out, open invoices, overdue invoices, and you can actually go in and select payroll expenses. So this just gives you an overview of all of these costs. If you click beside overview, you can look at transactions. So this would show all of your various transactions, whether it's an expense, whether it's an invoice, anything like that's going to pop up right here. Right beside that, we have time activity. You can go in here. If you have time enabled, you can track time. This screen's going to give you an overview of all of those tracked costs. Project reports, this is extremely important. If you want to keep on top of everything going on with your projects, you can see here, if you scroll down, there's a lot of different great reports, estimates versus actuals, unbilled time and expenses, work in progress by project. There's a lot of great information here. Beside that, we have project details. That's just the information that we provided when we set up the project. You can go right in here. If an address changes, an email, a date, anything like that changes, you can go right in here and edit. The change log shows any changes that are made to an estimate. So for example, if you provide an initial estimate and that later changes because the client wants something else, they want to add more work, something like that, you would go in here and you could see all of the changes across the estimates. Finally, we have attachments. Any kind of documents that you want to attach to this project, you can simply go on here and upload. That could be an estimate, that could be some emails between you and your team or you and your customer, whatever it may be, you can go right here and easily add that in. So that's it. You've set up projects in QuickBooks Online and you can now track your jobs more efficiently. If you have any questions about setting up projects, feel free to drop them in the comments and we'll be more than happy to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, Mavericks.